Hi, my name is Chris Freeman. I teach AP Environmental Science at Kellam High School, and today I want to walk you through a real simple step-by-step process for how to get students started with the bare basics of creating a cascading story map in ArcGIS. So here I am. I'm in my content, and you can get here by clicking on content. That's where all your work is stored. And so once students get to that point, they need to create something. And so there's this icon over here. It says create. When you click on that, they can create a map by clicking on map and add layers to that map and do a lot of personalization. But we're going to save that for another tutorial. And instead, what we're going to have them do is go to using a template. And what I have found is one of my favorite story maps is a cascading story map. And so you can type it in the search, story map cascade, or you can just simply scroll down and get to the S's, and then you will find story map cascade. And when you select that, it's going to ask students to either download or create a web app, and they want to create a web app. So we're going to go over and click on that, and it doesn't automatically pop them into their story map. They first need to create a title. So in this instance, we'll just do something simple like getting started. But what's interesting, if a student goes and tries to click done, it's going to say that there's an error. And the reason for that is because they have not yet put in a tag. And what's funny is a lot of students will get to this and they'll make a tag with a hashtag because they're so used to that sort of text sharing stuff, which is so popular these days. But any tag that they put in at this point in time, they don't have to go overboard. They can come back later and add other tags. But anything that relates to the topic of what they're doing here, I might actually just put getting started again, and you hit return, and that embeds that as a tag. They don't have to put a hashtag or anything like that. I could put my last name, another tag, and there we have it. So I have two tags. I could load this full of tags, but we can do that later. You can leave this blank. And so students at this point in time have their title, they have their tags. All of this will be something that they can change later on, and we can now hit done, and it will bring them to their cascading story map. So once you're in your cascading story map, students have a wide range of things that they can do to get started, to design and create something really special with a lot of visuals, something that will tell a really exciting story. Um, so, as I said, they can go and change their title, or they can decide that instead of having it say scroll down, they might want to put their name there because they want ownership. So they could put their name or their group's name. So there we have it. And for changing backgrounds, they're simply going in and selecting a picture off of their drive, um, or um, or a picture that they found that they want to utilize. So I'm going to click on pictures here and just scroll through some random pictures that I have. And I might actually use the picture of me in a tree, plop that in there just as an example. And so now there's a picture in the background, pretty simple to utilize. I just went to my picture folder and dragged that picture right down into that. Now, if we want to make other features of this, you simply click on this plus sign, and you can add text below that. You can add media content below that. You can create a title header, which is another great place for people to put their name, or to add a nice banner, or you could do more immersive content. So I have a tutorial on how to do some immersive content, but any of these other things are nice features that you can add to personalize your work. So if you want text, then you can add some text. If you want to then add a title, you can add a title. And then you can also add a background image behind that. So I can go over here and find a background image that looks interesting. Wow, that looks something special. Let's pull that over. And if I find I don't like the view, all you see is my silly chin there, you can actually go in to manage background, and then you can adjust. Hey, there I am. You can adjust and play with the settings here, and then that looks more like it. That's what I want to see. This is fun, and that is now my background. And then I can go and create an immersive slide or a narrative, and just quickly to show you how students can play with that. They can put something special in the background that they think is interesting. Maybe it's a picture that they have on their desktop, or maybe it's an embedded website. I'll put a picture of my students from last year working, doing a Skype call with someone from the EPA Alumni Association. And then we could put a title here, and then we could add some content, and then that content would scroll past that visual. And so there's all these different ways that students can add content. They need to hit save, and then this eyeball here is what's going to allow them to view their work. So let's go ahead and click on that and see how this exciting story map looks. All right, so we have getting started. I have my little practice writing that I did. That's a pretty amazing story. We have my title, and then I jumped immediately from my title into a story map. So it looks a little clunky there, but that's just how I decided to do it. I could have put other text underneath that, and then this title would have been framed a little nicer. But I'm just going through really quickly to show what is possible with this. And then we get to this. The title comes up, and if I keep scrolling, you can see the words that I could have put into the story map. And so this is a high visual way that we can learn and have students create really, really interesting stories that tell us about the history of science or science and policy, some exciting things. And certainly this is a great way for students to use the EPA Alumni Association document, Cleaning the Air We Breathe, a Half Century of Progress. And that will wrap up this tutorial.